Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a best of 3 between Showtime here in the top left as our blue Protoss player playing for Team Big, and in the bottom right it is Gumiho, still with the Storm Gaming banner spinning around his command center, but actually left Storm recently. Did not get kicked out of Storm, but Storm mentioned that they could not match his latest salary increase request and said he deserves the money. So I guess Gumiho left by his own free will. I'm curious to see which team he is going to end up joining. There's of course a couple of Chinese teams that are around. Basilisk maybe wants to pick up a Solitarian player like Gumiho as well. Gumiho has been having pretty good showings in the past few months. But now he's up against the wall himself. From Germany, of course, the Mauer. Mr. Showtime. Inconsistent performer, I think. Sometimes shows that he's capable of fighting with the best, taking maps and series of these very, very top players. And in other times just kind of fizzles out almost, it feels like a candle in the night. Curious to see what he's going to be doing this time around. It's always interesting at least to watch him play. Opened up with a Nexus before core here. So that is a really cool start already. No Reaper coming out of Gumiho. Did Showtime actually see that? And he saw that it was single gas and probably knows that it's Marine first. Because he took a little bit of damage earlier on there. Maybe that was from the Marine, maybe it was from an SCV, I'm not so sure. Wasn't quite paying attention. CC is going to be built here on the high ground. This is really kind of irrelevant though, because Showtime went for Nexus before core. So he wasn't planning on dealing damage against his opponent's command center, but any stretch of the imagination. Follows this up with a Twilight Council. Surprise tone in my voice, because often with this opener, this particular opener, we see a Stargate opener. Because you have a lot of extra gas, which allows you to get that quicker tech. And just having more gas is really nice when you're playing something like a Stargate opener. Because Stargate is, well, it requires a lot of gas. It is a fuel slurper, my friends. Eats up that gas like no tomorrow. Oracle's very gas heavy, Phoenix is gas heavy, Stargate itself gas heavy, like 150 gas, that's a lot of gas. Twilight Council only 100 gas, and you only need to get the upgrade once, right? You get your blink once and you have it for the rest of the game, but you get one Phoenix, is useless. You have 2 Phoenixes, still kind of useless. 3 Phoenixes, now we're talking. But only at 4 or 5 Phoenixes do you really become a threat, so that's already 500 gas you've sunk into that tech. So any little bit of Vespine gas that you can gather is something good. Ooh, look at that. Uru over here. Perhaps sensing his impending doom. No, Showtime lets it live. Lucky bird. Lucky bird. Uh-oh. Gumiho, no! Phew. Bird stays like this. This bird has been closer to death than he realizes. The Uru is truly the pigeon of StarCraft, too. A complete moron. Has no clue what danger he's constantly in. And there's too many of them as well, just like with the pigeon. What is this opener? Oh, look at that, a little bit of a tank push. Now, this is the type of build order that in theory never wins games. But in practice wins games very often. The reason why in theory it never wins games is because if you know that something like this is coming as the Protoss, you can kill 3, 4, maybe even 5 Marines before this hits your side of the map. And by that time, this push is completely worthless. I mean, it's going to be then like 8, 7 Marines and 2 tanks. Doesn't really deal so well with Blink Stalkers. It isn't good at moving into bases either, so usually you're going to be fine. However, if you don't have a battery and you don't know it's coming, it can be pretty hard hitting. So here we go. Adept is going to get taken out. Still isn't 100% sure on what this is. This could still just be like a move out with a mine drop, but Showtime, I think his spider senses here are tingling, is going to spot these 2 tanks dropping. Oh, ooh, Blinks on top of the medevac. I think that was a mistake, because as a result he's going to lose 2 Stalkers here, basically for free. Observer is going to continue checking the reinforcement line here. There's no battery here, and that is actually an issue. Now, one of the... Ooh, Blink forward once again. I think that also was a mistake. Probably wanted to target down these Marines, much rather than blinking into tanks again. Now this pylon is in a world of trouble. Immortal's not going to finish up. These Stalkers will be capable of picking up every single reinforcement unit. The problem is, can Showtime really reinforce himself? He's not going to have a pylon here anymore. He's not going to have any production here anymore either. So really kind of dead, honestly. 76 supply right now against 59 of Showtime. Marines are already attacking these probes. We have 2 Marines in the back. Tanks are now unsieging. 4 Stalkers, of course, not enough to deal with this army over here. Medevac still being alive is also kind of annoying. Raven joins a party too. Wouldn't mind if that were to do something else, like go harass this 3rd base or just being an annoying prick somewhere else. Now we have 4 Marines and a tank coming in. Is that enough to deal with 4 Stalkers? I don't think so if the Stalkers are being microed, and the Stalkers are indeed being microed. So 4 Marines do get taken out and Showtime loses nothing. That's what he wanted to do a long time ago. But I don't actually think it matters anymore. 86 supply against 58. We are on 45 workers for Gumiho, who with a quick push here puts himself in a massive lead in this game, and probably in a lead in this series as well, so I don't really see a way for Showtime to even hold this Nexus. Auto turrets can be thrown down, but they won't be. 3 tanks are here. GG gets called. Gumiho wins game number 1 with an aggressive 2-base push. I love seeing an aggressive Gumiho in general. Ooh. What you doing, buddy? I think it's an eBay block, right? Either that or fake proxy racks, like over here or something, or halfway on the map. I don't like these halfway builds. They feel too middle of the road to me. I never really liked them. Either build your barracks over here or build your barracks over here. You know, there's no in between. Yeah. I don't enjoy this. I mean, let me tell you what my problem with this is, okay? Because I can pout and I can be upset and I can say bad words, but it might be more useful if I explain my thought process. The problem with this type of barracks from the Protoss point of view, okay, as in why I think it is easier to play against as a Protoss player, is the initial Reaper hits kind of late. Like this is what a path of maybe 10, 11, 12 seconds. You're going to hit your opponent's main base at 212, 213. You can't realistically expect to get real probe damage here. That means that your only real way of dealing damage is by building a bunker in this location. I don't really struggle with that. I don't have a problem with that. So that's why I say this is not a great thing for the aggressive option. Now, another reason why I don't like this halfway thing and why I prefer it over here or over here is because right now with the barracks positioned midway through, this barracks will need to fly all the way back home to produce a reactor. And it means that the Marine count is going to be extremely low. So as a Protoss player, after this follow-up, after this bunker, you know there can't be any type of 1-1-1 aggression with Marines. A similar push like last game, simply impossible. Unheard of. You can't do it as a Terran player. So yeah, here we go. He arrived at 213. Should not kill any workers. Showtime with very poor control though is going to perhaps even lose 2 workers here. That would be no. Okay, it's gonna just lose 1, but still losing 1 worker is, well, it's 1 more than he should have lost. Terrible stuff here. Don't like it. Showtime is scouting to make sure that he knows what's coming in. Sees the tech lab. This is very common as a follow-up. And I wouldn't even mind the Twilight Council at this point. If you see a tech lab on that factory, you know it's not going to be Hellions. You know it's not going to be mines. You don't really want a Stargate. I think a good call here would be to... Ooh, I like this high ground pylon. Ooh, that's spicy actually. That's a spicy pylon positioning that I enjoy. No, not Star... What? I don't like this Stargate. Okay, I don't like it. But we'll see how he's going to use it before we judge him. So, yeah, this bunker did absolutely nothing. He killed 1 worker and his Marine production is insanely late, you know, because this bad boy's been flying back home. He built 2 Reapers. Right now, Showtime is seeing this and going, okay, the first push that's gonna come is at like 6 minutes. That's legitimately the first push that can hit. So whatever Showtime does, he should be optimizing for the 6-minute mark. And we see him chrono boosting probes, like his life depends on it, because, well, his life kind of does depend on it. CC still needs to finish up and then needs to morph into an orbital. So that means that by the end of this, oh, why does it say that Gumiho had 3 points? He only had 1. My apologies. By the end of this entire thing, it's going to be maybe 37 workers against 29 workers. So a huge advantage for the Protoss. You know, that's an advantage that is simply too big. On top of that, we had some minor oversaturation in the main base as well, because the CC was built on the high ground. So Do I like Showtime's position? Yes. Do I like his tech choice? No, not particularly. I don't quite understand what the Oracle is going to achieve here that an observer wouldn't be capable of achieving. Like, you don't need any more information after seeing a tech lab on the factory and knowing that the barracks is halfway across the map. Like, you have all the information you need right now. You know it's not going to be a 1-1-1 push, so there's no reason to be afraid. You know there's most likely going to be a Cyclone as a first unit, so no need to build an Oracle. So I think it is an odd choice. Now, I still believe that despite this semi-odd choice, he's going, oh, never mind, this is a great choice. Look how brilliant this was. No, doesn't get it. Okay, well, if he would have killed both of these mules, I would have been very happy. But now, this is pretty much what I would have expected to happen, just having Showtime's information. So he can't be upset by this. That means, because I respect Showtime as a player, I think he's smart, fast, beautiful. I respect him as a person as well. So he must really like this style, you know? There's no way that Showtime looks at the tech lab on the factory and goes, you know what? Oracle here is the best thing. I'm gonna deal a lot of damage. No, I think he just really enjoys playing with the Oracle, the vision it provides, the stasis wards that it gives him, you know, the how scared the Terrans get. So I think that is the reason why he's going for it. We are going to have to wait to see whether that will pan out or not, as Gumiho actually opting for a 3-1 build order. So a very all-in type of build. And I actually think pure Blink Stalker against it is fabulous. There's not going to be any Marauders. Tanks are going to have a difficult time moving across the map. I'm a fan of this stasis ward position because it's in such a weird spot. Like, you might barely walk through this with like a tank in the back or something. You know, it's going to be stuck for like 27 seconds. I don't even know how long. 21? Units are stuck for a long time in stasis ward. Feels like it's forever. Like, actually forever. You don't want to blink in. This is a good scout. Sees the reactor going down, so knows that, I guess, medevacs are coming out at some point, but it's going to be so late. Charge on the way already. 5 more gateways coming in as well. We have that forge on the way. I think the moment Gumiho moves out, supplies are going to be very close to even. Very, very close to even. And that is not a good sign if you're Gumiho. That really is not a good sign if you're Gumiho whatsoever. A little bit of, I'm not sure if this is an aggressive pylon, isn't it? Because if this were a spotter pylon, you'd put it on the bottom side here. Oh, this is an aggressive pylon. He's going to build a gateway here. Look at that. Pew. Warp in some zealots. Build some stalkers. And move across the map. Oh, Protoss, how I love... What? I knew that Arubu last game really, you know, escaped death. Because I knew that Gumiho is one of these guys that kills the critters. He's just like I am. A ruthless killer. A savage. No moral fiber. God, we're so alive. This is why I like this stasis ward. It was a good position. Very, very enjoyable there. Is this 4x? Why is he floating 600 minerals? There's 2 reactor, 2 tech lab. This I want to see. Showtime is attacking depots. I think you can actually fight this, no? Like, you can't like straight up fight it, but you can shoot at it and then run away. Oh my god, there's a huge push already across the map, but there's no medevacs here. This is a weird move out. Combat shield isn't finished up yet. Oh no, combat shield. It's going to finish up now. Tanks are all dead. This was this was world's most disjointed push. It's another stasis ward hit. Poor Gumiho. He just wanted the 2 base all in. And now he's building the 3rd CC, pretending like he's playing a macro game. But this doesn't count, you know? A Terran player looks at this game, you know, a Reddit warrior. You know, this guy spends more time on the BNet forums than he spends, you know, taking care of his old mother. He looks at this game and goes, another macro game won by Protoss. Like, no, this is not a macro game won by Protoss, all right? This is an all-in that Terran did that got stopped because half of the army wasn't with the all-in, and then a 3rd base went down. But this, we do not count this in the macro game metric, all right? I do not buy it. This 3rd base isn't gonna finish up, so even these Terrans can claim it. I love to see it. All right, Zealots entering the natural right now. Showtime with a hopefully a fairly one-sided victory. He's gonna lose the sentries though. No Guardian Shield in this push anymore. This is not a great attack here out of Showtime. probably as bad as it could have been. The marine count is off. There 53 marines, 4 marauders. He's literally just messing marines. And as long as there's no splash, marines are insane. But the moment splash, like have 1 colossi here and this army just melts. Have a storm and the army disappears. Showtime's gonna look like a magician. Now I'll make the marines disappear. Except the good part about the magician often is that he can also have the marines come back. Not sure if Showtime has quite mastered that part yet. Still going to be capable of probably winning this game outright as well, of course. Just so far ahead. +1 upgrade. Well, as I say that, going to probably move back a little, wait until the next charter wave comes in, and here we go. GG gets called. Showtime ties up the series with a 1-1 score. Nice gameplay. Game number 3, look at this. Gumiho. It's like he listened. He's listening to me, my friends. He's tuned into my brainwaves. He knows what I want. And I want this barracks over here. Right. This is such a beautiful location. Look at this. What is the walking distance here? You know, just like with real estate, the only thing that matters with the barrack proxy is location, location, location. You know? You can have a massive mansion, but if it's in the middle of nowhere, you need to drive 5 hours to go to the most nearby supermarket. The closest by hospital is in the next country. You know, there's no point. This is beautiful. You know, this is your maybe it's just a one or 2 bedroom apartment, but you got a supermarket next door. You got museums if you're into that, and restaurants, other things that regular people enjoy. Art galleries. I guess that's kind of a museum, but it's different, isn't it? Art galleries just for art, and museums you can also have other stuff that I don't understand. What actually is the difference between a museum and an art gallery? Both of them do expositions. Just a different word. Maybe it's the English word for museum. Museum sounds like it was taken by the, taken away from the French. Musée. I just think it's spelled different in French. Maybe took it from Latin. God, people are gonna make fun of me in the comments. I don't like that. My comments are my safe space. Leave me alone. This bunker's not gonna go up. I think Gumiho realizes that as well. Showtime definitely realizes that. Hello? Oh, no, there was a surround opportunity there. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He had the Stalker probe surround. I'm so upset by this. How did he not smell that opportunity? That was perfect. Now, 3 workers went down here, as opposed to the 1 worker that went down last game. You see the difference. I'm kind of surprised that the bunker didn't go down in the natural. I'm really surprised, actually, that the bunker didn't go down in natural. I love the way that Showtime, by the way, kind of plays against this. He says, hey, I'm gonna get my pylon on the high ground every time. And I like that, because sometimes I build on the low ground, I build a bunker next to the pylon, I lose my pylon. What's up with that, huh? Showtime figured it out. This is why I watch him play. What a smart fella. I actually had been thinking about this for a while. I was like, man, how do I deal with this? The funny thing in StarCraft 2, often when you have a very difficult problem, the answer is very simple. This is generally true. Often it's just scout it. It's like, how do I deal with a proxy Rex? It's like, how do I deal with a proxy Rex that's close? Well, you just scout this area, and if you find it, you win the game, kill the barracks. It's actually true. How do I deal with an eBay block? Well, send a probe down there to know that when it happens, and you pull 4 workers, and you're okay. How do I deal with a proxy? I pull 5 workers, chrono a zealot. Often you kind of get caught up in like doing this weird mental math, like, oh, and this, what if I do this, and I follow up, where is he weak, But no, you just deal with the problem, Someone throws a ball at you at high speed, what do? You don't start thinking about how to catch it, you duck. You're not an idiot. Well, unless you're like a catcher in baseball. I think that's what they're called, the guys that catch, Catchers. You have the pitcher, that's the one that throws. Then you have Batman. It's not only a superhero, but also the guy that tries to hit the ball away with the bat. And then the catcher is behind Batman. And he catches the ball. I'm not sure what happens if he catches the ball. Like, I don't know what the point is, but it's important that he catches it. That is what I do know. I think maybe otherwise the pitch doesn't count, The throw doesn't count. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe if he lets it fly by, then they can run anyway and steal a base. I don't quite know the rules of baseball. It's very difficult to pay attention to baseball because it's so boring. No offense, of course, for the people that enjoy baseball. But you're an enjoyer of the world's most boring sport. Even professional tic-tac-toe is more exciting. No, that's not true. Professional tic-tac-toe probably is really boring because their game has been figured out. And it's not that difficult. You know, chess has also been figured out, but it's very difficult to remember what has been figured out. This bench is going to deal a lot of damage. That's what I figured out. Do we have an observer? We have 2 observers, and neither of them were in position. And what's the point of getting observers? What? Where'd that bad boy come from? 4 workers for a Banshee. Do I approve of this trade? The President of the United States approves this trade. Yeah, I think I do. As long as you don't lose another 4 to the next one. Like, that's just not allowed. You're allowed to lose 4 once, and then the next one doesn't do any damage, and it's 2 Banshees for 4 workers. This is really bad, Showtime. Because you don't want to lose another 4, you know? Yeah, okay. Now I'm not feeling it. If this Banshee survives, I'm going to be uber upset. I don't think he's going to survive, though. This guy gets 5 kills. No, he didn't target. No, he did. 5 kills. Okay. He's his 3rd Banshee. He's an evil genius. No one does this. Look, Showtime gave up on the defense already. He's like, ah, no need. Who builds a 3rd Banshee? You have to be a complete moron to do that. Or Gumiho. What's the Marine guy? Why is he building so many Marines again? Maybe he doesn't like Marauders? Maybe he's like one of those guys that, you know, looks at the numbers and goes, the Marine deals more damage than the Marauder. You know, one supply. It's a supply very efficient. It's very cheap. Doesn't cost any gas. What if I only build reactors? What happens then? He's just legit purely building Marines. It's not too uncommon though until you build the first 2 medevacs. Usually you see at least 1 or 2 Marauders in. You know, it's just kind of sprinkled in. I like sprinkling in Marauders. Yeah, there we go. Sprinkling in 2. What is this? Oh, this is still the Banshee. Yeah, this guy is on a mission with absolutely nothing. You know, at the starport they told him he was going to be important this game. He already saw 2 of his friends move out. You know, it's very unlikely that a 3rd Banshee gets sent out. He probably didn't believe it. And now he's being sent on like errands. Like, go check the top right side. It's like, alright. Is this what I did all my training for? Really? I have so much energy as well. Like, he's more energy than HP at this point. He's gonna go in and do nothing. It's actually gonna die a very painful and swift death. I can feel it. This is gonna be a very frustrating exercise here for this Banshee. No shot. No shot. Oh no. 1 kill? Wait, why wouldn't he chase? What? You'd think that you'd continue going. Whoop! Banshee goes down. Killed 1 worker. That's great investment. Raven's gonna come out. There's 4 tanks. That's a large tank count. What in the world? Is there charge yet? Oh, there's definitely charge, isn't there? Yeah. And Marines without combat shield. This is not gonna go well, is it, for Gumiho? Why would he fight without combat shield? That makes actually no sense. Target down the Marines! Come on, Chief! Super battery this! Hello? Do we not have a super battery available? Yeah, we do. He's not using it. I just don't understand this. Why did he fight without combat shield? I don't understand that. I was building 4 Marauders at a time. Last game pure Marine, now pure Marauder. This guy's onto something. Showtime moves across the map. This is the type of move out that never really works. Because you don't have reinforcements. If you have 8 gates behind this and a prism, I'd say, go for it. You know, you have a sentry with Guardian Shield as well, but it's so scary. Because if you lose this fight, you lose all your Colossi and you lose the game. So, I am not a fan of this. I really am not a fan of this. Need to be careful, Showtime. Need to be careful. We need a prism here. And actually, if you get Archons, and there's no Ghost, and your opponent has pure Marauder, that's kind of sick as well. Archons tank a lot. They really do. And your Colossi going pretty ham in the back. Fort base on the way soon. Armor coming in. Ghost coming out. Prism is going to be too late. The first 3 ghosts are going to be out before the prism hits the other side of the map. So Showtime has a limited timing window here. The question to me is he going to be capable of using that? I think he might be. He's probably going to use range a little bit. There we go. Yep. Gonna start killing a couple of these SCVs. Maybe burn down some of these Marines. This is a very patient way of engaging here. And I like it. I like the patient way of engaging. Now he needs to piss off. Except he's probably not aware of that yet. Because he doesn't know that the ghosts are here. Well, does he need to piss off? He gets a Guardian Shield. He has a lot of units. Oh, how can you miss the first EMP? That's the most important. Second one also misses? The radius of the EMP is the entire screen. A lot of these EMPs really hit the Colossi. In Vikings are still pretty darn good, and so is this massive. He has 20 Marauders. And 5 Marines. What is this? 4 Marauders at a time. Well, stims forward. Don't forget, if you have a lot of Marauders, that medevacs often run out of energy quicker, because every stim takes away more HP than a Marine stim does. So these stims are, they're painful. They really are painful for the Marauders and for the medevacs as well. You see these guys use their drugs, they're like, oh no, it's going to be hell to clean up tonight after they come back, from their drug craze. Ooh, DTs are out. That I like. Fort base is up here for Showtime. Worker count is low. He is maxed out on 185 supply, but because his eco is so poor, of course, no offense, the problem for Showtime simply is that if he loses a fight, he still loses the game. So having this fort base doesn't actually do that much. Like it increases his position over time, but I think the upcoming fight is going to be a very important one. He's gonna take out a couple of workers. I don't think Gumiho is rebuilding those workers. Oop. Blast that one. I do like. Zealots being sent out around the map. There's really not that much happening. This is pure Ghost Marauder. This is a comp and a half. It really is a comp and a half. I mean, Showtime's already on like 8 DTs, soon to have +2. Second Robo on the way. I like that he went for Dark Shrine before second Robo. Do I like that? Yeah, I like it. Because he didn't lose any of the Robo units, so you don't have to replenish them as fast. It's a very nice composition here. Do enjoy this. Showtime's going to move out across the map, and this is very smart because he wants to start trading. He wants to trade on his opponent's side of the map. He has superior economy, and he has a slightly bigger bank because he's maxed out already, so his opponent really doesn't have a bank. There's some money in there, but that's going to be used to max out. Oh, ET's actually getting butchered over here. I think you want to trade here with your disruptors. Just stand from a distance, and you shoot disruptor shots in there. Make sure that you always have... You don't go in to fight. You go in to kill a Marauder, to kill another Marauder, and kill 2 Marauder. And eventually you're pushing in, you're pushing forward. Your disruptor count is growing. Your opponent is going to need Liberators or is going to lose. Because you're on their side of the map. They can't do anything about it. These DTs can't fight. What? That was an interesting blink out of Showtime. Believed that he could do that, and I don't think he was right. Look at that. So loses 7 DTs. What's the overall DT lost count now? That's at 15. He's lost 15 DTs. Oh, there we go. Moves up this ramp. Needs to be more careful. Just one disruptor shot at a time. Look, you're not in a hurry here, Showtime. We're actually taking it quite slow. We have another run by coming into the space. He's going to blink on top of this once more. I know that he wants to trade, but the way that he's trading right now makes me believe that he thinks that he has 95 workers and his opponent has 60. But actually the work count is fairly similar. So it's not the case at all that he's completely outmining his opponent. He's taking poor trades on that left side. He needs to be more careful there. I don't enjoy this one bit. So What are the upgrades like? Upgrades are very favorable here for Showtime. 2-2 against 1-1 currently. +3 already on the way. Armor also starting right now. This is very scary. If this left side army dies, there's no real gas to reinforce. Blinks in once again, and EMP is going to connect. Couple of snipes perhaps are a possibility. Yep, 2DTs are going to die over here. And Showtime setting himself up to get surrounded here. This might be a mistake. EMPs are hitting, disruptors are going down, and Showtime just plummets in supply here. Marauder count still very high and just trading so well against these stalkers. Disruptor coming in from the side, gets huge, gets the hit of a lifetime. 8 kills there, and it's all Marauders, but this is what I was talking about. It's not like there's 18 gateways with 5k in the bank. No, there's 12 gateways with 1k in the bank. That is very, very different. I think Gumiho is going to push in here and perhaps even be capable of winning the game straight up. They're still the upgrades are favorable for Showtime, of course. And this army is very low in HP right now. Disruptor coming out. The Disruptor shot is going to, well, hopefully be huge here for Showtime. Upgrades doing so well, though, for him. This fight should have been so over if the upgrades were even here. Oh, poop. That's one. Disruptor 2 gets taken out, but Zealot warp in. +3 finished up for Showtime. +2 finished up for Gumiho. I think Showtime is going to survive for now, but the supplies are very, very favorable here for our Terran player. 144 against 103. Of course, a little bit of that is going to be in Vikings. And we do have the 8 barracks behind this, pumping out Marauders, Marines, Liberators, Disruptors. Showtime also has good infrastructure, though. That's not the issue. He's lacking the cash right now. Still outmining his opponent, and we have a split of army. Look at this. This is a Gumiho move. The Suicide Squad coming in over here, stimming in, going for a battery, and without medevacs, there's no real way to escape. So they're trying to steal micro back and maybe take out a couple of these zealots. Maybe actually get the no Marauder. Go home. You're so young. You can do other great things in your life. Upgrades are 3-3 against 2-2. I'm not so sure about the shield weapon. I feel like that is not a real priority here for Showtime. Of course, once EMPs are out, shield upgrades become largely useless. I'd rather see that money invested somewhere else because he really is lacking gas. 5 bases for Showtime. 63 workers only, though. Because he is mining out the main is practically mined out. Natural practically mined out. Third, all of those just 4 patches. So 6 base needs to be taken quickly. The next few fights, I think, are going to be deciding this game. I felt like that one fight that Gumiho took could have perhaps decided the game. If he had maybe pushed this base rather than up this ramp. But it's so hard to say, and it's a difficult call to make for Gumiho as well. Of course, who isn't starting 3-3, by the way. So he's putting himself on a bit of a timer. If Showtime actually gets the max out, Showtime is going to be winning a game. Most definitely, we have an army moving towards the top side. We have the double Liberator setup here. These Liberators have any upgrades? No, they don't. Yeah, Liberators without +2 are not really Liberators. They're a little annoying, but they're not liberating anything from their life. Maybe half a probe, but that's about it. No +3 is an issue for Gumiho here, and I think Showtime is feeling it. It's like, I have a little bit of map control again. Moving out on the map, does get EMP'd. Big chunk of his army there. All these stalkers without shields. Here we go, part of the army does get caught here. Disruptors kind of moving around the map in a weird manner. No Colossi in this army. Means it can be hard to defend. Disruptors defensively not so hot. They really aren't so hot. You need high disruptor counts to get her out and feels the best. Nice micro coming out of Gumiho. Showtime needs to be careful here. Blinks forward. It's going to do quite some damage. Here come disruptor shots. Number 1. Poof. Takes out a Marauder, 2 Marines. TT gets activated. Was just on stop position over there. Can blink out, can blink out. Will not blink out though. So we have a run by towards this left side. This army is exposing itself a little bit too much in my opinion. As well, it's gonna take a pretty decent trade, but disruptors here get bopped from the side. Gumiho must have taken some hits into the face, though, because he's on 140 supply. Command centers on the left side are in trouble as well. 3-3 has started finally for Gumiho as we see a recall on the left. And now Showtime enters on the right side. But what can he really achieve over here? Take out a reactor and a half. Is it worth the risk of exposing yourself? I think it might just be. Disruptors coming in from the bottom as well. Oh, 1, 2... decent hits. Third hit is going to hit big. Yep, there we go. Gumiho in a world of trouble right now. It's these stalkers a little bit too much. Showtime manages to win the game despite that one poor fight that he had on Gumiho's side of the map. Managed to secure the victory in this series with a 2-1 score. Massive Marauder count out of Gumiho, but in the end just being down 2 upgrades. All of those little engagement after is so difficult to make it work. Upgrades are so important in StarCraft once the army supplies get big, and I think that got shown today. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.